go. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you've joined me tonight, to hear about some of the treasures that I found in Tucson. It was also, not only did I see crystal treasures in Tucson, but it was also the whole experience of going there and the whole trip. It was just very, very special, very unique, and in many ways, not what I had anticipated, particularly with regard to the way people looked at Israelis, because I'm Israeli. I mean, some people said, Israeli? Because of my accent. And I said, no, I'm originally Australian, but I've been living in Israel for almost 40 years. So it's like, oh, okay, fine. It made sense to people. But it was very interesting. Anyway, so I'm going to sort of I want to take you through my trip a little bit. And I think I know everybody here, but it doesn't matter. Whenever I do my Zooms, I always feel that I just want to make sure we're connected to the Jewish side of crystals before I get going. So we're going to start. Okay, we're going to start. Many you may have heard this before, but it doesn't matter. It totally doesn't matter. I There are certain things that I love, and that is the Jewish connection to the crystals. But more than the Jewish connection, it's like, wow, we can use these guys. They're Jewish. And I think it's not only that we can, and I went with this attitude overseas now, because it was more than just a trip to Tucson, sorry, it was way beyond. And I went with this attitude of like, we need to share. And all of you ladies here are part of that. You know about crystals. I think everybody here has a good sense of crystals. We need to share. This is one of the brachot that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us. Okay. Are we recording? Can you see in your corner that we're recording, ladies? Yeah, thank you. Okay, terrific. So as you know, in Parshat Tetzaveh, which is going to be not too soon, and we're going to have a webinar on Parashat Tetzaveh because we can't go through something like that. It's a momentous parsha for all of us crystal lovers when the very precise instructions are given as to what should be on the Choshen Mishpat worn by the Kohen Gadol. Choshen Mishpat is the breastplate that was worn by the Kohen Gadol, and here we have a picture of how it was supposed to look. This was worn in the front of his apron, and it tells us about the 12 stones, that each stone representing one of the Avnei HaChoshen, where they are to go. There should be 4 rows, 3 columns. Each of them should have different stones on them, and that's what we're told in Parshat Tetzaveh. So then the Mefarshim start to ask questions. What is this stone, and what does this mean, etc., etc. So we get a lot of different great information here. And some of that information, I'm just going to tell you what Rabbeinu B'chaye says to us here. He says, Ein lecha kol even ve'even min ha'avanim ha'yekarot shelo timshoch koach min ha'elyonim. There is no stone from among the precious stones that will not bring down energy from above. So we know that these are not just like inanimate objects without any energy, because first of all, inanimate objects still have energy. Everything has energy in the world today. Everything Hashem creates is continually being created and has energy. But here we're saying that all of the crystals, so as pretty as they look and as quiet as they look, they're not so quiet. They're bringing down energy from above. A lot of different koach. And I feel it's a big privilege for me personally to be able to harness some of this, because the crystals are so amazing and they give us so much information. So when people will choose their crystal, we learn a lot about them. We learn about what is going on for them. So, I met this young woman recently, and I understood that although she is a lovely, lovely young woman, very, very lovely, but I didn't understand how much energy, how much effort, how much it took from her, or it takes from her, to be so very lovely, because she got a raw deal in her childhood that nobody should know about. And this, I could see all of this from the crystals. And in Mirz Hashem, okay, I'm going to help her using the crystals because they have the frequencies, they have the healing power, and their frequencies are going to come and they're going to heal our frequencies that need healing. It's an unbelievable relationship that we have with crystals. Okay. Here is just a little hoshin that I made. And this, okay, I'm going to go into my trip and tell you that this was like amazing. What happened was I started off traveling for an organization called Nachala, Tnuat Nachala. I volunteer there. I volunteer very heavily there, and I travel the world with my daughter-in-law. Okay, here she is in this picture, my beautiful daughter-in-law, who I'm grateful we get on beautifully, Baruch Hashem. And we are there representing Eretz Israel. Nachala. Nachala is an inheritance. The Jewish land was given to the Jewish nation as an inheritance from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All of the homeland was given to us, not certain bits and pieces, all of it. And so we need to be making sure that we hold on to it. So that's sort of what we're about, starting settlements and communities in Yehuda and Shomron, Judea and Samaria, part of Israel, making it part of a government policy, bringing it to government policy, also to settle all parts of Yehuda and Shomron. We do land redemption, PR, all sorts, so many different things. So we were in Florida. So actually, while we were there together, I had a webinar, an event. Somebody called me up. They saw that I was doing something, and they said, "Gila, could you please come and talk to our group of ladies? We'd love to hear from you." Da, da, da. They said, "Could you come Monday?" I said, "No, I can't come Monday. Maybe Wednesday night I could do it." So Baruch Hashem, it worked in on Wednesday night. There was a large group of ladies there that I don't have any photos of. I do have a photo somewhere, but not here. I didn't make that. And then the next day, on the Thursday morning, my daughter-in-law left, and I had a workshop in Miami Gardens. And have a look at this picture. One of the women who was participating in the workshop, as I'm running the workshop, she's got her colors there. You see, she's very artistic, and she's drawing all these different things. So that was like wonderful. 6 o'clock the next morning, which was Friday, I said, Shabbos is coming. I've got to move myself. I can't. I'm going to catch the earliest flight out, and I went to Dallas. I spent the weekend, I spent Shabbat in Dallas. I have a niece and nephew there with their 3 beautiful children, and that was a beautiful opportunity to see them and how they live, and just to be with them, which is not something I usually have. And why did I do that? Because when I was booking a flight to Tucson, it went via Dallas, and I'm very much like that. What I'm going to go, if I'm going past Dallas, I'm not going to stop and say hello to them, so that's exactly what I did. And I spent a wonderful Shabbos in Dallas. And then on Sunday, early Sunday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, I caught a flight to Tucson. The flight stopped in Las Vegas, I have to tell you. And that was interesting within itself to get out of the airport. And lucky I did, because they told everybody stay on the plane because your flight will continue. And then when I got off, I said to them, I just want to stretch my legs a little bit. Can I get off the plane? And they said, of course, this flight's going to Ontario, to Canada. So it's like nobody knows. So they rushed on and got all the other people off. Anyway, I managed to catch the flight, got to Tucson, got my car, and off I went. My very sweet, my very delightful and sweet nephew had prepared for me. I told him, these are the list. I had a list of all the places that are open, or what I thought was all the places that I found. The gemstone show, what does that mean? It means that there's lots of huge warehouses selling gemstones, lots of places selling gemstones open. People come from all over the world, and I'll show you, to sell gemstones, and people come from all over the world to buy them, obviously. So he prepared me this terrific list, and I knew, because I wanted to understand what my route is. What do I need to do on the way home from the airport to where I'm going to stay, etc., etc. How much time do I have? So that worked well. And so I spent Sunday afternoon, I went to different crystal places that I had found, and it was wow. And then I went to my hostess, which you'll see later on, Mina. She was amazing. And from there, I went, you can see over here, I had an event in Tucson itself with the Chofetz Chaim community, and I spoke to the community there. That was an incredible evening. It was so incredible because I usually, my preferred audience are women. Okay, that's where I feel comfortable, and that's where I feel is most suitable, whatever. And so I did it in a woman's house, in somebody's house. She has a husband, Baruch Hashem, and he helped me set up, etc. And he was staying. And then the rabbi comes in. The rabbi might have been a 35-year-old guy, 40, I don't know. And he came in and he was staying. And one of the girls came in with her boyfriend and he was staying. So this was the audience, and this is what I was going to work with. So anyway, it was a very special, special evening. And the rabbi at one stage said, "Do you mind if I interrupt you?" I said, "Please." And he says to me, "I want you to know that when I heard about this, I was like a bit concerned. I didn't really know about it. So I called up Rabbi Shmurla in Muncie, and he is a very well-known authority on all sorts of alternative methods of healing. And he's got a book, which I have here. And I asked, and this rabbi is saying, I asked Rabbi Shmurla if it's okay to actually work with crystals or whatever." He says, "Well, if you don't know the answer, then you need to go to the lecture." So he was there. He was very, very sweet. And it was really an amazing evening. And it was a great opportunity for the some of the Jewish people in Tucson to get together. It was beyond just crystals. And then just to continue my trip after, I spent Sunday, Monday, Tuesday morning in Tucson. And then I was going back to Israel. My flight to Israel is from Los Angeles. And I have friends in Los Angeles. I have been in a amazing mastermind networking group for almost 4 years. And that's like based out of Los Angeles. Ray Shagalov over here is the one that runs this group. And I said, I'm not going to Los Angeles without meeting my friends. So so I could stay overnight. And I spent overnight there. And we had a meetup of all the women in the group, the Passionistas, we call ourselves, because it's a passion projects networking group. It was phenomenal. And then from there, there was an event in LA. These are pictures of the event, which was in a shul in Los Angeles. And these are three of the Passionistas, women from the Passion Pro, who actually attended the event. You can just see these like gals. They hadn't actually met before. And here we're all meeting. It's like these kindred spirits. It was very warm and very special. And here from the event in Lauderhill, one of the ladies bought a bracelet for herself and a bracelet for her daughter. So it was jam-packed trip, and I want to tell you that when I came home, this was like one of the first times well, not one of the, but it was like I felt it so strongly. I just actually was, the tears were rolling down my face as I came home, and I was so grateful to Hashem that things worked out so well. Was it perfect? No. Was it unbelievable? Yes. And really, the whole way that I was walking from the aircraft to almost to where I picked up my baggage, I'm saying Mizmor LeTodah, a psalm in Tehillim when we say thank you to Hashem, because I feel that I have so much to be grateful for, to have been given the privilege and the ability to do all of these things on my trip, really, and Baruch Hashem. So here, I want to just remind you about the Gemara. And in the Gemara, we're in Masechet Shabbat, where it talks about a woman can go out and carry on Shabbat the carnelian stone, okay? Because carnelian is a stone that protects pregnancy. So she can carry that stone with her in order to prevent miscarriage. So we're not going to go into all the issues of what you can carry and what you can't, because that's not our issue. But our issue is what we need to understand from here is that at the time of the Gemara, they were using gemstones, crystals, minerals, stones, whatever you want to call them. These were being used as a remedy. They were being used to prevent miscarriage. This was a known way of healing. Okay, so I think it's really important for us to be well aware of that. And that, again, of course, is going to make us feel so comfortable using all of the crystals. Okay, so here we have the carnelian, which is Even Tkuma, and this is something that I have in my set of stones when I, help women turn to me and are asking for help to fall pregnant, and women also, obviously, who are pregnant when they want to protect their pregnancy. Okay, see, there's a bunch of questions. Okay, I'll show you the name of the book. I will show you the book shortly. Okay, remind me towards the end of Rabbi Shmurla. Okay, now this is a carnelian that I bought there. It is big. Okay, it is a Gasunta carnelian that I just fell in love with, and I said I can't leave it behind. The first shop on the Monday morning, the first shop I went to was a shop called Bonsai Babes. And the woman who was there was not always so easy to find these places. Remember, it's quiet city and not always so easy to find things. And there we have this, it's in a suite. Anyway, I go in there, lots of beautiful stuff. And this, I actually took this carnelian towards the end. Um, I think I'm actually going to show you the real one, okay, for you to see that it's actually quite a large stone. It's quite heavy. I don't know if I probably have to do this, okay? Yeah, can you see the size of this stone? And it's really gesund and it's heavy. I don't have other, I've got different stones, but this is just very beautiful. Said to myself, well, I didn't even say anything to myself, actually. I was just focused on I'm buying the stones. What am I falling in love with? What is this experience? Because I had no idea what does a stone show me, what any of it is. I hadn't experienced it. So it was totally, totally new and exciting. Anyway, this was a stone that this was a stone that I just said, I'm not leaving this guy behind. There were quite a lot of them. There are quite a lot of them. I'll discuss my luggage soon. You can ask at the questions, okay? Um, okay, I'm going back to the share. I'm going to try. There we go. I think. Okay. Am I still big? Am I still spotlighted? No, thanks. Good. Okay, enough of me. Okay, then I want to show you what Tucson looks like. Note that it has no grass. Okay, it's like just plants. Cactus mountains in the background. Have a look. Can you see over there all the cactuses? And they're all over the place. Right? I couldn't believe there's just no grass there. It's like, wow, a desert. It's a desert. It was, warmish during the day and cold, cold at night for me. No, we saw that. This is that shop Bonsai Babes that I told you about. And this is Rachel, who I can't explain. We had a great you can see that there's a great connection between us. I asked her questions. I want to learn from her. Whomever I was there to learn and to learn from people. And she had the fabulous crystals, okay, that I bought there. And she was actually retiring. So this was it. They were retiring and they were selling stuff as a retailer. Okay, you get things at a cheaper price, and she was selling it even cheaper. So that's why I was like, I'm buying this. Like normally it would cost, I don't know what it would cost normally, but I didn't pay what you'd normally pay. Baruch Hashem, I got some great deals there and some other places. And there were stones that I hadn't seen, like this. Look at the color of this crystal. Maybe I can even make it bigger. Okay, this is a calcite called, cobaltian calcite, which also has, no, it doesn't have, that's its name. Okay, it's quite a rare stone. And I couldn't, if you know me, you would understand. Yeah, that's its other name. Whomever wants can, sphero-cobaltite. Okay, and I wasn't obviously going to leave something like that behind with that fabulous color. And I don't know that it comes, because it breaks off quite easily. I don't know if it comes in a tumbled form. Here, she had at Rachel at the Bonsai Babes had a lot of selenite. So I bought selenite, and if you can see here, this is a piece of selenite. But those of you that know selenite are used to seeing selenite like this, okay? Where it's got all those lines. It's very sort of like stratified, okay? These are all selenite pieces that I bought from her. And this didn't. So I made a video because I wanted you to see. This is a nice piece of selenite, a large slam. And normally when I see selenite, I see it cut along this grain. Okay, so it's always very definably selenite. However, if you cut it like this, you slice it, you're going to get a piece of selenite with this look. You're going to see on the outside, you're still going to see those lines. Okay, so that's a selenite. Okay, and I bought some very nice pieces there. It shows it twice. Okay, so here's that selenite piece. And here are the other ones that you can see with the lines that are more typical selenite pieces there, okay? I actually bought back for my grandchildren. I bought them little heart-shaped selenites as well, okay? Because they're just so lovely, and I love selenite. Selenite talks about actually determination or maybe stubbornness, but I say that's got me where I am today. I feel very much the my stubbornness and my determination to come and live in Israel, to do work in the profession I'm doing, and all of those different things. So I think that's a lot of me. It also means that there's lots going on in your head, which is always the case for me as well. Here, I met this guy. See this guy over here? I didn't take such a great photo, sorry. This is Jamie. And you can see outside there's like really, what do you call them? Containers of rocks, all of these places. And he's an Australian guy, obviously tattoos all up his arms. Lovely, lovely guy. And he was selling mookaite from Australia. Everything he sold was from Australia. And look at this pair of mookites. You know, here I thought that they were amazing. And all the different colors of this mookite stone. Okay, the only thing that I ended up buying from him was a small piece of brown calcite. Brown tourmaline, or otherwise known as dravite. Okay. And I just thought it was really interesting to see that brown tourmaline. Then I went to this other shop, and this guy's name is Bill, you'll hear, and he had fluorite pieces to die for, both price-wise and beauty-wise. And let's see, let you hear Bill, and then I'll tell you. Yeah, go on. This is green. Have a look at this green fluorite, folks. And what's your name? Bill. Bill is going to tell us. Explain. Look, the color's changing. Tell us about the fluorite. Take it out. How about taking it outside, and let's discover more.
Naturally, fluorite fluoresces, thus the name fluorite. Our particular fluorite tends to fluoresce in daylight, which is unique in our location. Supposedly, no other location in the world where fluorides show up fluoresce in daylight. They will under a black light, a fluorescent lamp, but they don't do this.
Have a look at the colors changing to blue because of the sun. This is incredible. Okay, that was like amazing to me. And he had fabulous pieces, really. His pieces were unbelievable. And they were, I'll show you. I thought I bought it here. I bought a small piece of fluorite, really a small piece, because the fact that it changes color while you're holding it in your hands, okay? It was amazing. It started off was green, and here you see all these blue bits in it. So when the ultraviolet makes it change colors, and fluorescent is where it gets its color from. So now we know all about that. I loved that, right? Each time it shows it twice. See, that's the piece I bought. It's not a big piece because it was the piece that I could afford. Okay, and you can see it in the light how the color has already changed to the blue. It was green. This is another beautiful piece of fluorite, not from Bill, but from somebody else. And have a look. These are my beloved fluorite. I think these are some of the pieces that I'm like most crazy about, that I've like dreamt about. Okay, I'll show them to you in real life. It's like, that's not so nice. There you go. Here they are. They are like magnificent colors. Okay, the colors, the lines, the cut, the polish, they're just unbelievable. It's just amazing. Okay, and it's the whole time, it's like remembering, or knowing, of course, that these are the wondrous creations that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given to us. Okay, this was also interesting. This, I don't know if you're going to understand, he's got an accent as well. Can you hear when these people are talking? Can you hear them?
It could be a little louder if you're able to make it just a drop louder when you
I can't
share.
make it louder, but I
Okay,
can.
fine. But yes, we can hear. I can hear.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so here, have a look at the color. This is amethyst. And take a look at the color of the amethyst. It's got like a brownie tone to it. So this is a guy from France telling me about this.
See, the amethyst is purple.
Right.
And the coating on it is hematite.
Wow, and that's top quality. Yeah. Right. Top quality amethyst there with the hematite on top. Okay, and here you can see it as well, some fabulous pieces. And have a look at this. You know, it would be hard to know that these pieces are actually amethysts because of their color. There's something about the way amethysts glint, glow, whatever, that you can see. I've got a fabulous like dark gray piece, but it's not as like this. These ones coated with the hematite. This, I actually bought that from the same shop. Okay, Elbite tourmaline. Now it looks like a nice size, but really, you know, I haven't seen these colors before in tourmaline, and this is the size. I bought two pieces that are this size. It's hard for me to get to show you the fabulous colors of these stones, but they are so, so beautiful in the blues and green ranges. They're very, very special stones. Um, so, okay. Okay, Rabbi Shmuel is from Lakewood. Somebody told me he's from Muncie, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, he's from one of those areas, and Rachel knows. Thank you, Rachel, for that. Here, have a look at this sulfur. I haven't seen sulfur like that before. I've seen sulfur, I've seen a tumbled stone, which is a lovely yellowish stone, and not that bright, bright yellow. I have sulfur. I bought some pieces because I couldn't leave behind. However, I must say that it sort of is very, very fragile. To be very, very careful. I presume on the Mohs scale, it's got a very low rating because it's so, you know, it breaks so easily. Here, this was on my very last day, on my way to the airport, actually. And I stopped in at this place that I'd been to before. And I saw these black tourmaline points. And I said, black tourmaline, as most of you will know, is a very protective stone. I have black tourmaline on here, my bracelet. I have black tourmaline sitting on my desk because I need protection. Okay, I work with people. I need to know that I have protection, energetic protection. And I said, this might be amazing for me because it has those points and it's going to have a lot of the energy, the protective energy coming out through the one point. So if I direct that to me, then it will give me extra protection, please God. Okay, so it made me feel secure. Now this pre-night, I just left my boxes there. Sorry, I'm bringing them. Here they are. Oh, but no, we're not there yet. We're still over here. So this pre-night, come have a look. The problem is you're just all going to have to come to my house to see these, to my clinic because I can't, there's no way I can really show you the beauty. It looks like this crystalline piece with all sorts of, little frosty pieces on it. It's magnificent in its gentleness, and it's just a very beautiful stone. It actually began its life as a lormentite, and then it basically emerged into a prehnite, and today it is a prehnite for everything. Okay, so prehnites. One of the good things about prehnites is it's helpful for us to clear out clutter. So I'm going to be unwrapping my prehnite, and I'm going to be working on tidying up a little bit more here. Okay, I'm just showing you my while I've got this. I just want to show you this is the fluorite that I bought. You see it's green. Let's see what happens if I put light on it. It's not real light, so it's not working. It doesn't work. So, but here you can see the green waves of it. And if I go outside in daylight, which it isn't here in Israel right now, it's good and dark. Okay, you would see it. But it's a very, very beautiful piece. Very beautiful piece. Okay, all very exciting. As you can see, I love crystals. That's why I'm in this business, folks. Okay. From the prehnite, I want to take you to some other amazing pieces. These are both what's called apophyllite. Opa. Okay, they are, I don't have the other one, but here, just like an amazing, amazing thing. Okay, the gentle, beautiful apophyllite stone, okay, helps us to look at what would be better. You can sort of actually see the color. It's like a very gentle, beautiful green. Okay, it helps us to connect between the physical and the spiritual. Yeah, it is greenish. Okay, and to recognize and act on the truth in all situations. Okay,
What is it?
apophyllite. Okay, and
A
that's
puff.
pH. Okay, I'm gonna put up the show, the presentation again, and you'll see how
Thank you.
it's okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that's apophyllite, and this is a different piece of apophyllite. Okay, so yeah, and that's like wow. They were amazing. They were just like, oh my gosh, I have to have these. And maybe because I am that type of person where I do also make sure to act on the truth all the time, okay? And I always want stronger intuition, and these are great for that as well. But this stone, this is a true treasure. Dioptase. It's not a stone I was familiar with. I can't capture the beauty. It's tiny. I'll show it to you in a second. Okay. This is one of the best healing stones. Okay. It gives us invigoration and refreshing energy. Okay. And it also helps us to live in the moment, the dioptase. So I'll show it to you in real.
What's it called?
Dioptase. D-I-O.
Deoct
How do you pronounce it? Does
Deop
anybody?
Dioptase?
Okay, if anybody knows how to pronounce, I think, okay, I just read it and see what it says, but maybe there's a better way of pronouncing it, and somebody here might know, and I'm happy for you to tell me. Okay, and here it is. It's a little piece,
Dioptase. Dioptase.
and the color is magnificent. It's got such depth to it and such beauty, I think, anyway. Okay, you can see the cylinder. It's just
That's the one you just wanted.
well, yes, that's right. We can understand anybody wanting this. I can.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm talking. I'll go mute.
Okay. And then as I'm like on the way to the airport, and when I bought that tourmaline, I also stopped in. I also said, I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I didn't buy any optical calcite. How could that be? I mean, it could be. There are about 1,000 stones that I didn't buy. Um, and then I saw Mum as I'm paying to go. I see under the counter these magnificent pieces of optical calcite. And it's like, okay, I need those. And one of the things with optical calcite, it helps us to put more order and it helps us with overwhelm and when we're feeling hyper. And I think that I was pretty hyper during this trip and I needed that sort of calm to help me out there. So here is look at that perfection, the way it's so square. That is optical calcite, the cubes, to see the way we see things in one world is not necessarily the way they're seen elsewhere. Okay, and these are truly fabulous pieces. And it's like, oh my gosh, that feels so good. So good.
Uh,
Okay.
Gila, how do they do that? Do they polish it or tumble it or
I think it is polished, okay,
It
but
grows like that.
that's exactly it. They grow
It
in the
forms like that.
That's exactly the point. That's why they're so incredible because they are this is their shape. It's like they're not like this, okay? And we saw the sticks of the selenite in the shop the way they are, and you can see, these rocks, but no, here we have the selenite. I just happen to have on my desk. This was a gray amethyst that I was talking to you about before, okay?
Great.
Mm, okay.
Why don't you call it gray quartz?
Because it's amethyst. It's really amethyst.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So when I talk to you about this, can you see that she's from AI? Because I said to AI, I said, I want a picture. I didn't want to take a picture of a real person. I said, I want a picture of a religious Zionist woman with a head covering, whatever. So they gave me this funny looking lady with a kerchief child. I said, no, she needs to have her kerchief tied behind her neck, right? Because that's how they wear them. So this is what they came up with. And I said, okay, ladies, you'll understand. And she's the woman I want to tell you about is one second. The woman that I want to tell you about found me. She totally found me. I didn't look for her in any way. She's hardly on the internet. That's not her thing. She doesn't have WhatsApp, none of those things. Anyway, she came to me because she was just having relationship issues and feeling down and miserable. And she'd gone through depression through various stages of her life. And then she came to me and she asked me while she was sitting here, she said, Gila, do you have anything that could help me? Because I have a rash on my skin. So I make oil, okay, oil which is wonderful for pain and all sorts of different things. And so I gave her the oil and she bought a few bottles actually subsequently. Um, but then she doesn't need to buy it anymore because after her treatment, right, we went through and we understood what she had gone through, and she's gone through plenty of things, but to a certain personality type. But we cleared up the rash. She came back and she said, Gilly, you can't believe it. The rash is gone. It's completely gone. So through the treatment with the crystals, we were able to eliminate this for her. And that was like a big wow for me and a big blessing. Okay, now um I want to see if there are any questions here. Any questions? Okay. I don't think there are any questions there. Okay.
I have a
Now,
question.
along the way,
Can I ask now?
Hmm?
I have questions. Can I ask you now?
Yeah, ask me now. Sure.
So, first, just one about Tucson, and then I have a few others. How did you know that you could go there a few days early and get in and get to see people, or you just tried
No, I
and tried?
saw. No, I did my homework. I did my homework. I saw that there would be places open, and I even rang up some of the places to confirm that they would be open, and I could go there early in the morning before going to the airport, so I could get in another place. So,
Okay.
and I knew I wouldn't see everything, and there were places that were still setting up, um, but that was fine. And I don't know how I would have fitted everything in anyway, and I was really glad to avoid that bumper to bumper traffic that you talked about.
Yeah, it was really crazy. So, how do you display? Like, I'm thinking maybe I want to have a bowl in the middle of my table, but are there conflicting energies? Like, I have to know which stones go with which.
I say put them all out. Put out
Yeah.
whatever you like, put out and enjoy them, love them.
Okay.
And wear them together?
Yeah,
I'm wearing three right now.
good,
Wearing rose quartz, tektite, and aquamarine.
beautiful, fabulous combination.
Labradorite on my ears.
The labradorite, I want to tell you to be careful with. Labradorite is a strong stone, okay? So when we're feeling like emotionally, when we're not feeling so strong, it's not a great stone to wear because it can go into places that we're not ready to go into yet. Places that we're trying very hard to hold on to and we don't want to expose or we don't want to go there for whatever reason because we need a certain amount of emotional energy to deal with certain things. So labradorite is not interested. Just if it wants to go there, it's going to go there. So I just a word of caution with labradorite, on the days you're feeling less strong,
I should put on some rose quartz.
rose quartz is always good. We love rose quartz.
The next, then I wanted to ask you, you said something about they were treated, like the amethyst was treated, or the guy earlier said something had a coating. How do you know if something's treated or has a coating? And is that okay?
I didn't actually. No, I did see stones that had coating and I didn't buy them. There was fabulous copper there, and the copper was coated with epoxy. And I said it's going to coat over all the energy, and it's not going to come out. It's like when we put crystals into a plastic bag. Okay, we make sure that the energy doesn't come out. So if I purify stones, like I have stones for pain. So when I use them, let's say I use stones, I have a sore, I stick stones on because I'm in pain. Then I finish with them, Baruch Hashem, the pain's gone away. I take them off, I purify them, then I put them in a plastic bag, it's like a snap lock bag, and I seal it, and they're good to go for the next time because the energy isn't being diffused. It's just being kept inside, okay? So there was no point in me buying anything that had such a coating on it like that, if that's what you're referring to.
Right. I thought you said that the amethyst was treated.
No, I said the amethyst had hematite on it. It was naturally coated with hematite. That's what this guy was telling me, and that's why it had that rusty color, which was so interesting to me.
So I see. Okay.
Okay.
And you did you bring anything to sell? Do you sell gemstones?
Yeah, I bought lots of regular stones. I said to myself, whatever you buy two of. But I said that
Yeah.
afterwards because I said people are going to want to buy stuff. So yeah, I do have stuff for sale. That wasn't so much my purpose, but I bought back. I bought
And
different bags of crystals like this, for example, that I can't get in Israel, or I haven't seen in Israel for a very long time. This is tumbled green calcite, okay, and tumbled green, okay. I've only seen rough green calcite, not tumbled. And it's a wonderful stone, but if it's rough, it's harder to put on because it's a stone that also relieves pain physically. So we want it tumbled so that we could actually stick it on, okay, or to wear it in
I'd
various.
love to have a consultation with you. Where are you located?
I'm located in Binyamin, in the hills of the Shomron, in Binyamin. I do a lot of work on Zoom, but let's speak afterwards, Bracha.
Okay, let's speak afterwards. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those are my questions.
Okay, great. Do we have other questions?
The
One
green-
more.
The green, the
I have
green, the green calcite, is that also pistachio calcite?
I think you have an amazing knowledge of stones, Sarah Tiferet, and I know this only as green, and this is what it was called there, okay?
I have some green and they call it pistachio, so I was just
I
curious.
don't think it's the same. I have various green. This is another green, but it's marinade. So there are lots of different types. I don't think this is pistachio, otherwise I would have seen it being
Okay,
given that
okay.
name.
Thank
Okay?
you.
No problem. Other questions? So one of the things that I found so interesting was the people that I met with. Such wonderful people like this Rachel, who I showed you a picture of, and Jamie. They're just all into crystals and interested in the crystals. This Bill that I showed you, he told me he was a school teacher in his past, and then he became involved in crystals, and that was it. But he said to me, he asked where I'm from, We got involved in a conversation. And he says to me, I'm so sorry for what happened to you in Israel on the 7th of October. I'm so sorry. And he said, how is your family and whatever? And I told him about my son-in-laws in the army, etc. He says to me, I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray for you and your family. And I said, oh, thank you. And he said, yes, I'm a Buddhist and I'm going to pray. That's like, I didn't say anything, but it's like, I'm less into the Buddhist. Someone playing to Buddha for me. But the fact was that here we have this non-Jewish Buddhist. He totally didn't look like a Buddhist to me. He's told me he grew up Catholic. That this guy who really understood right from wrong and understood that we were the victims, and it was heartwarming to me. And then in another shop, there was this, not the French guy that had the amethyst with the coated hematite, but in a different shop, there was this man who sold, I bought a nice amount of stuff from him. And then when I finished and I took all my peklach out, all my bags of stuff out with me, and he came to the door to say goodbye to me. And he says, I am so sorry for what happened to your people on October 7th. He said, I'm French, and I know that my people have not been friendly to the people of Israel. But we know that what went on was a terrible, terrible thing. And I just found it so heartwarming that people wanted to tell me that. And I didn't feel in any way at any place that's like Israeli, and then they put their, like the thorns or the bristles went out. I didn't have that feeling at all. I had a feeling of warmth and friendliness. And I felt almost like an ambassador for Israel, showing that Israel is continuing on with life and whatever else it may be, and that we're a normal people. We love crystals, they love crystals. We're just a regular group of people that one day these I don't know, beasts came and murdered us and slaughtered us and started this terrible, terrible war. That was very, very interesting to me. So there were, a lot of things that I felt that I learned along the way from the people, from their behavior, from, buying the stuff, seeing the stones. Another one of the things that was very interesting, and they got me. I have to tell you, they caught me. You buy crystals. So I bought crystals. Okay, I'm going to spotlight again. I bought crystals. I'm being vulnerable, right? I bought crystals in the bag, right? You buy them, the bags are all packed, so I can't choose my own crystals. I mean, in some places, if you buy them like in bulk. So I bought them. And I was very happy because I wanted to have lots of pieces of black tourmaline, little pieces of black tourmaline. So if you ask me if I've got crystals to sell, I can say yes. And then afterwards, because I would ask lots of questions. So I asked one lady about them. I said, what does it mean when they're made in China? Okay. And she said, when they're made in China, usually it means they may be authentic, depends if they've got a mine there. Otherwise, they're synthetic. I don't want any synthetic stones. So when I
Let's say,
when I unpacked my black tourmaline, okay, it's okay. I've got a packet of black tourmaline from Pakistan, so I'm not concerned. But when I unpack these black tourmaline, I can see that some of these are authentic black tourmalines, and then there are a few pieces of rubbish in there as well. Okay, not here. Most of these are pretty good. Okay, but that was interesting, and that was a learning thing. So if you see stones from China, go buy them. Okay, if you want to buy them. And I bought another stone, which I was really annoyed with myself about afterwards. But it's a learning. I said, don't worry, don't beat yourself up. It's not a bad thing. And if you learn a $10 lesson, that's okay. Okay, the lesson should be no greater. I bought, and I'll show you. I can't move my box of stones, it's too heavy. Not these ones. Okay. I bought lepidolites. Lepidolite are great stones when you have ups and downs. They have lithium in them. They're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stone that I use very often with a lot of people. So I was really glad. Now these are perfect lepidolites and they're nice size and whatever else. And I bought another bag as well. And guess where the other bag is made? Made in China. Like, and I can see when I can't bring them home to look at them, like I could see that they're not really what I want them to be, right? Obviously I'm not going to use them. So I said, what am I going to do with them? So I think I'm going to have like these little lepidolite decorating my garden because I can't think of what else I'm going to do with them because I wouldn't give them to anybody or use them in any sort of treatment. And they lose their beauty to me when I find that they're synthetic. But in my garden, I think that there'll be a great decoration there. Okay. Randy.
you say you cleanse the paint set and you put it in a bag afterwards. Would you recommend that also with the sleep set?
With all stones, I would recommend after you use the crystals,
Ugh.
okay, after using them, first of all, there are certain crystals that we have that we use all the time, okay? If
Yeah.
you do an assessment and you say, okay, you know what, I'm a rose quartz guy. Talk about myself. I need my rose quartz, I need my amazonite, I need my lapidolite, I need my, I don't know what, right? I've got my 5 stones that I have with me all the time. So I use them, I have them with me, I wear them, and then I purify them once a week and I continue to use them. Pain stones, sleep
You're only 5.
issues. One sec. I don't always have the sleep issues or the pain issues or whatever it is. So I finish using them. And when I finish using them, I purify them and then I put them in a sealed plastic bag and they're ready to use the next time. Okay?
Okay, thank you. You're going to be my role model.
Yes, sweet.
Okay.
Actually,
Hi.
Sivya Chaya, how are you?
Hi. Hi, Gillian. Nice to see you.
Great to
Um, so sometimes you see it says, so it's a say rubies. I've seen this in rubies when you're talking about synthetic. So I'll ask about it and they'll say it's created, but they don't mean it's created from synthetic materials. They say that it is original ruby, it's ground up or something and then put together. Is that something you don't want or something? Is synthetic
It's like
if it's ground.
reconstituted or something like that.
Yeah,
Not something that we're going to use in our assessments, etc.
right. It
Need
doesn't seem.
of beauty if you like it and you want to use it, that's something else. It's much more affordable than the stone. So if somebody really loves it and wants to wear a ruby and it's much more affordable, then go for it. But if you want to use it in treatment, we want to use it to to maintain for somebody who wants to fall pregnant, or for somebody who we want to increase their milk supply. We want to give them a real 100% proper, authentic ruby. Okay.
Okay, okay. And when you held up the, was it optical calcite is the square?
Yep.
And you said it feels good? Is that, I can't remember, like, is that a healing for the head in a certain way?
First of all, it's a clear stone. So we know that clear stones go to the crown chakra, the crown energy center.
Right.
Okay. So it's very good. It's good for headaches. Okay. Sometimes what happens is we don't release things, we don't let our tensions release. And so they come out in the form of a headache. So
Right.
we need the crystals to help us to release that. So sometimes you take a stone like the optical calcite and you put it here on your head. It can be so calming and wonderful. Okay?
You mean even in a short amount of time, you mean?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to tape that on your forehead, are you?
Oh, you're not going to tape one this side. No, no, no. Not even me. Not even me. Okay? I mean, and I've taped some weird stones in weird places, but no. Okay.
So I recently bought a necklace that was on sale in Trove last month, and it was, and I know my daughter liked the stone because she had a ring like that. It was you call it labradorite.
Right. How do you call it?
Labradorite. I don't know. It just looks like labradorite, but I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, whatever you want. I'm not saying I'm correct. I learned everything in Hebrew and I translated to English, so I may say it incorrectly. Okay.
I
So
don't know.
ignore me.
Like
Anyway,
a
so
Labrador dog,
Yeah.
like a
what?
Labrador. Yeah, that's right.
But it's got nothing, it's nothing like a Labrador dog. It's
Well,
Labradorite.
isn't there a country called Labrador or
Oh
something?
yeah, that's it.
Up there, up north near Greenland,
Yeah.
which maybe come up. Anyway, the question is, Gila,
Yes.
you said that it may not be good for either a person who's very sensitive or a person who has ups and downs or is going through
If
things and
someone's
doesn't
feeling
necessarily want to.
vulnerable, if you're feeling vulnerable or you're not feeling strong emotionally, it's not a good day to wear the Labradorite.
Oh, so it can, so it's not necessarily a person, it's that day, like that, the person who falls into those kind of states or moods, it doesn't mean they would never wear a
Correct.
labradorite.
Correct. Correct.
So it's,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
because yeah, because I bought this for someone's birthday, which isn't till the summer. But that person is a very sensitive person. I'm just
I'm just
wondering,
fine.
oh,
Please God, please God. I'm sure if you bought it, it's very beautiful. And
it's really
if
pretty.
not, someone else will enjoy it. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Other questions?
thank you.
Pleasure.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
Gracias.
I have a beautiful piece of amber that broke. It fell on the floor and broke. And I didn't know what to do with it, if I should discard it or if I should keep it.
I would keep it. I would purify it and keep it. Okay. There are stones that break because they fall on the floor and they break. And there are stones that, like I had one time, I told in class when I was teaching on Sunday, I said to the students, I had a yellow calcite that I gave to somebody to wear. I stuck it on. She had a pain in her neck, this woman, and she stuck it on. She wore it for a few days. And then when I removed it, her pain had gone and the yellow calcite had lost its color, never to return. There was nothing I could do. So I said, thank you very much. The yellow calcite has done its job, and I put it into the ground and Shalom Yisrael. Or somebody had a black tourmaline at the entrance to their home. One day, it exploded. It was gone. It was broken to pieces. Fine. Don't stick it together. Just gather it up, put it in the garden, bury it in the garden, finished. But if it fell innocently, and amber is an expensive stone, you don't want to lose that stone. Okay, so I would definitely purify it and enjoy it.
what's the best way? How do you like to purify? I usually run under 2 minutes of running water.
Exactly
And
2 minutes
I
of
said,
running water while we have in mind that Hashem should return the energy to the crystals. And then we put them outside in daylight for 3 hours. Okay?
So I have an elixir for something. It's either thyroid. I have one for thyroid and one for mouth, teeth stuff.
Fine.
So that I usually do it daily. One of them has the yellow calcite in it. It must be the tooth one, right?
Probably.
And
Yeah.
it became like very faded. Does that mean I should take it out and bury it, or just keep?
I think if it has changed color and if a stone has lost its luster, then maybe it's done its work. If we try and purify it and it doesn't come back to life and we give it a scrub, because sometimes they need a bit of a wash because they get a bit calcified, then if it doesn't come back, then say thank you very much and move on. It doesn't happen so often, but it can definitely happen.
And if I can't find the yellow, it's replaceable with the orange. Did you tell us?
Now, now look, this I think I bought as an orange calcite, and this is a yellow. I still think that this is yellow calcite. It feels yellow calcite to me. I can put it on my hand, and my hand feels beautiful when I put it on. So, use your eyes and see, does this look orange, like really orange? Or does it look that it's a bit of a darker, stronger yellow? If it's still a stronger yellow, then enjoy it as yellow.
So you're saying sometimes it could be like a yellow and sometimes it's not.
They have different names, but when we did it, the stronger color can also be yellow. Look,
And what?
these are just called calcite. I bought a bunch of them, right?
This is yellow?
Yeah. This is
Wow.
it's yellow. And I'm going to use
Where
it
does
as
that come
yellow.
from?
This
Gayla.
is Mexico.
Ah. And is honey calcite like that, or is it completely different?
Honey calcite is like a brown, like honey.
It's
It's like a
more,
brown color.
yeah, and
You
that
won't
doesn't
get
have the same.
confused. You won't get them confused. Different qualities. Honey calcite, it's got different qualities. It's a great cleansing stone.
It's a great what?
Cleansing.
Cleansing. But I thought, isn't that one of the characteristics of calcite bichlal, that they're good for cleansing? Or
Absolutely, absolutely. But honey calcite is a little bit of a darker color, so it will indicate if somebody does an assessment with the honey and chooses the honey calcite, it's going to indicate to me that where do they have more cleansing, energetic cleansing that needs to be done is at the lower energy centers. The lower energy centers we know talk about childhood. So somebody is still needing cleansing from different things that they went through during their childhood. Okay, that's more the honey calcite.
the other interesting thing about that stone, if you see in a shop like pieces of all different sizes and shapes, so the smaller, thinner ones are not so dark, but the bulkier ones are more brown. You know what I
Right,
mean?
'cause they're
So like,
thicker.
how do you?
Whichever works for you.
Yeah.
Whichever you know. So okay, so I just gonna close up. If there are any more questions,
Is there a way to tell the difference between black obsidian and black onyx?
Oh, yes. I also,
The forever question.
right.
okay, so onyx, first of all, it's a challenge, okay? Onyx has often got like white pieces. This is onyx that I'm wearing, and it's got a little bit of white on it. It can have a little bit of rust on it and ridges. Obsidian, Apache tear is obsidian. The Apache tear, you hold it up to the light and it will be translucent. Onyx, you hold up to the light and it's solid.
Oh,
Okay?
But
That's a,
obsidian is also not clear. So when you have it when it's polished in a bead, you wouldn't know if it's obsidian or onyx.
the beads are challenging, okay? No, but even polished black Apache tear, okay, that's
Well, that, yeah, texture's separate. That's
yeah,
clearer.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
I okay, beyond that, the shapes of the stones tell you different things as well. Okay.
That's a
Sometimes
good question.
sometimes the onyx they come in different shapes. If you're not sure, you ask the person in the shop where you're buying them and ask them to tell you how they can tell the difference. But I find that onyx can have more ridges in it. And again, black tourmaline has got many more ridges and is more stratified. Okay, but as Randy said, when the black tourmaline is polished, okay, and it becomes and it's made into beads, it's very hard. You just have to know you're buying from somewhere that you can trust, okay, and that you're buying and that what they say is really what it is. That's what I feel with the beads very, very strongly. What are we looking at there, Randy?
This is, I'm not sure. I call it black agate, and I know I bought it. I don't know what they called it. Is there such
It
a
could be
thing as
black
black
agate. Sure.
agate?
There's a black agate.
there
Okay.
is,
Obsidian,
I
It
have a,
looks like it's obsidian with white lines in it, but I don't know.
I have a bracelet that has black agate. It said matte, that they called it matte agate, and it is black with white lines.
I have black sardonyx and it has little black lines in it. It's black with white lines.
Okay.
Onyx?
Sardonyx.
Sardonyx.
Mhm.
Oh, sardonyx. Oh,
Okay. Okay. There are lots of beautiful stones out there. And, everybody, we're going to learn more and more, please God. I certainly
thank
learned
you
a
so
lot
much.
about them. And let's see if I've got anything
I
else.
have one more question.
Yeah.
I can't get my camera on, but
Okay,
can
fine.
can you say a little bit more about the different shapes and meaning of a few of the shapes? I've not heard that concept before.
Well, because it's sort of not such a concept, the shapes, I have to tell you, apart from here, these ones, which are like generator shapes, which have the points, okay? Um,
Mhm.
the shape, this is the shape of the stone. And you'll see that there are certain stones, like pyrite here is very often has cubes in it. But insofar as does it mean something different if I have a quartz crystal that's triangular or a quartz crystal that's round or whatever? No, it doesn't mean a lot of difference. Okay, sometimes you can see if you see somebody consistently in an assessment chooses the biggest stones or something or other, you might pull a connection and make a comment and say something. But essentially, it's which stone somebody has chosen if you're talking about assessments. And like different stones, the tourmalines are typified by there being lines, like the stratification in them. Okay, so there you've got a tourmaline that's definitely stratified. And they're different lines in them. The tourmaline lines are different to the selenite lines. And I always tell my students, I tell them, the more you buy the crystals, the more you learn about them. Okay?
And then you
Really,
gotta stop.
when you go out, I'm talking about when you go out though, and you go shopping and you go to a stone shop, because that's where you're exposed and that's where you can also ask people questions. So that's very important.
Would you just,
Thank you.
I'm not asking for a whole share on it right now.
Good.
If you could just succinctly uh, inform us about the generators, if it's 1 point or both double points or like sometimes I think I even have like this little piece of quartz crystal that has like a few different ones sticking up. And can you just elucidate?
So first of all, the generators are stones that magnify energy, and we centralize the energy through the point. So even if it is artificially manufactured into that shape, the point is still significant and meaningful. So if it's got 1 point or 2 points, or if it's a whole cluster with lots of different points, okay, it's going to sort of give us an indication of how much energy is going to be generated from that stone. Okay.
So if you were to put it on, is it something you put on, or is it something that sits near you, or how do you work with it?
So first of all, there are exercises that we do with it. Okay, that's one of the things. We do different exercises with them. And for example, a quartz generator, I have to show you. I bought some beautiful ones. I just have to show you.
Yeah.
I'll see why I have to show you, okay?
Hi, hi, Alicia. Hi, Chaya. So nice to see you both. And Bracha. Hey,
Nice,
Bracha.
fun. Okay, can you see these guys? I believe, and this one also. I
Yeah.
think that these are not natural, and I don't care. They're so beautiful. I just love the structure of them, the way they are. I don't know. There's something about.
When you say not natural, you don't mean the stone itself, you
No,
mean the
I'm
cut.
talking about the cut. The
The
cut.
cut. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Shani, you had a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is the Apache tear and the same thing as a black obsidian?
It's not the same thing, but I think it is an obsidian.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay.
But a black obsidian, if you're looking for a black obsidian, you're
Mhm.
not gonna for an Apache tear.
Correct. Correct. They're
Okay.
two different stones. Okay.
That's what I
And the
wanted to.
obsidians are a whole family. Uh, yeah. Okay. I just want to show you here.
Can you tell me, do these look like a natural cut? Are these,
I don't know. I don't know that it matters.
let's see.
Supposedly it doesn't matter, but you could usually tell if it's natural.
You can tell if it's
Well,
how,
it
how,
seems like
how
more natural.
precise it is. Okay.
You can tell what?
How if
It's
no,
not
there's
foolproof.
something about this that tells me that it was done, that it was made. Okay, my other ones are less perfect, basically. I think that that's a general rule of thumb with tumbled stones is if they're really perfect, then the chances are that they're less real, you know? If the pattern repeats very exactly, like in a turquoise, you've got the grain of it repeats very exactly the same, then we figure that it's not really a turquoise. I just want to let you ladies know that I have not increased the prices on my website yet. Okay, I have my the people that I work with are telling me that I can't continue like this because I'm working in 2024 prices. The VAT has gone up and a lot of the expenses have gone up. So you can get things at a good deal now. Okay, the value of this deal, the diamond deal, which includes counseling and it includes shipping and it includes essences and it includes crystals and an assessment, it includes so many things, really without inflating, because I don't believe in that, but you'll see it's a good deal at $599. It's a big saving, but it's really there for just a few more days. Okay, now the thing is that the crystals do amazing work. They are a true gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and doing assessments or learning more about them I feel is a real gift. And if you're interested, if you have any questions, be in touch. There is other deals, not just the diamond deal there. There's a premium package, there's a basic package, all sorts of things on my website. And I really want you to take a look and see what works for you if you're interested. Okay. So I'd love to be able to help people. And if you know people that you think that this could be helpful for, okay, then put them in touch, because I also, by the way, do payments as well. Sometimes it makes a very big difference if you don't have to pay the whole lump sum at once, but if you pick it up and do a few payments, that's also fine by me. I'm more than happy to work with that. And the benefits are amazing. Really, really, really. I have people writing to me the most amazing things, and I feel grateful to be a shlicha. And you see that I'm so passionate about the crystals, and I love working with the crystals. And I think it's a big gift that Hashem has given us. And they do so much. They tell us so much. And then through them telling us, we are able to learn and to move on from certain things. Sometimes, like when I had this woman with 8 children and she was very, very ill, and I did an assessment on her, and I expected her to choose a lot of different jasper stones because she was so ill and she needed energy and strengthen her immune system, blah, blah, blah. And she chose different stones. And these stones led us to understand that her illness is from here. It's something from her heart and something from her head. And it's up to her to do the work to cure herself. The doctors are going to keep on putting band-aids on, so to speak. But if she really wants to recover, it's up to her. And Baruch Hashem, she took that lesson. She took that lesson. And this was somebody who we almost lost. And Hodul Hashem Ki Tov, she took her lesson. She moved forward. She did her work. She understood. And, thank God she's a thriving young woman today. So they have so much to offer. And as I said, I'm grateful to be a shlicha, and I'm here. So if you have any questions or anything, you're welcome also to sign up for a 15-minute free discovery call to ask me questions and to see what would suit you and what would work for you. Okay? So thank you very much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. I've loved sharing about my adventures in Tucson. I think they were too good to be kept to myself. They were really, really. Should I just?
Yeah, no, I appreciate. Oh, it was a beautiful trip. I feel like I went.
Oh, good. I'm so happy. Really. Wonderful.
What about, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. What about the book from the rabbi? Can you show us what that book looks like or give us a title?
Sure. Hang on. Here we go. This is the book. I'll send you a photo, okay,
Thank
because
you.
it's coming out in mirror. Okay, but yeah. Okay. Szmzmerla. Shmerla.
I
Okay.
actually have the book.
What?
I have the book. I just did not recognize his name.
Okay, there you go.
So it's good. It's good. It's good.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Lehitraot, lovely ladies. All the best. Good to see you, Mr. Leia.
Thanks so much.
See
Good
you.
to be here. It was just wonderful. It was just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you for this wonderful.
Really.
Nice to see you too, Rachel.
See you.